be cooking spaghetti bolognese. This way we're going to cook it, it's going to be more flavorful rather than just mince. So we've got our mince here. We have our onions. I just covered them because they do hurt the eyes. I prepared them before the video. So we're just going to slice roughly. It doesn't really matter too much. We've got OXO cubes, which is a beef flavour enhancer. They also come in chicken, but we need beef for this. So these are pretty good. They add a bit of flavour. We've got dolmano, tomato, onion and roast garlic pasta sauce. We have our tomatoes, which we've just cut up to roughly about this size. We're going to chuck these in raw, but you can cook them on the stove or half cook them. You don't really have to, it's just, you know, if you want to do it. We have prepared water for our spaghetti sticks, which we'll put on shortly as soon as it starts to boil. And we also have a bit of shredded cheese put on top when the meal's cooked. We're just having the spaghetti by itself. But you can also chuck some chips or mash some spuds and chuck them on the side. Anything like that. So first off we're going to chuck our tomatoes in there because we're not cooking them. So we're just going to get them out of the way and free up some bench space. I'm going to chuck them straight into this clean boiler here. Chuck them in. I'll put that in the sink quickly. And we might as well add our sauce in. There's no reason why we can't do that. Now remember, I said it in the beef and chicken pasta video that I add 3 sauces in because the mince dries everything out after a while. So you also add a bit of water in this to get the excess sauce out too. Sorry for a second. I opened these pre-video, that's why it's not so hard. Should have seen my face while I was bloody opening them. They were pretty hard to get out. Open the jar up. Now the OXO cubes, the beef OXO cubes, won't be added until the very end. You add it in when the meal's hot so it can be absorbed, because you crush the cube and it turns powdery and the heat and everything like that will sort of get rid of it and it'll mix in there properly. So there's some excess sauce in there as you can see. So just grab a bit of hot water, cold water, doesn't matter. Just a little bit. And we shake it like we did in the chicken and beef pasta video. So we will get a bit more out of this as well. So just pour that straight in there. So that one's done. Just going to chuck that to the side. You see the volume of there that we've got out from the sides of the jar. Might actually need a bit more water in that because you see it's still firmer in there. We're just going to shake that up again and pour that straight in there. If I fumble or stumble, you'll have to forgive me. I'm a bit buggered after a long day today. So just shake that. And look how much sauce we've got just out of those 3 jars that was left in there. So just pour that straight in there too. See, our water is ready now. Now I don't know how you do the sticks. You might have to come back to this. There's still some in there. I don't know how you do it, but we usually break them in half so they cook quicker and they fit in the saucepan without any trouble. I don't do that thing because that never works for me, so I'm just going to cut them. Now I'm probably going to add all these in because they're the first thing to go, and I don't think that it's going to be too much when I put them all in. Just going to pick up first. So what I do is I just, over the water, make a funny face. We're trying to break them. Some does go over the stove. And we just drop them in there. They do tend to go over when you break them, but they all get covered by the water. Grab the rest. Or we'll grab another. We'll split this in half again. It's a bit hard to break them when there's a whole heap together. gotta grab a fork and push them up a little bit. Just a little bit. Okay, so we can get the rest of them now. We don't want to waste anything, so we'll just put everything in there together. We already put salt in this water too for the starch, so the starch will come out of these spaghetti sticks. So we already put the salt in when we started putting the water in and started boiling it before we started the video. So we're going to get back to this and get the excess out of that. Just do a tiny bit of water. And there we go. And we're just going to mix that in with the spoon now. So we're just going to sort of move this one onto the smaller jet over here, which is the second biggest on the stove, because we want to cook our mince now, or even our onion. Our onion might be better. Oh, why am I trying to light that? That's already lit. Never mind. So we're just going to grab some oil out of here. And we don't really need a lot. I don't think we'll need a lot of oil to cook those onions, so I'm just going to put some in there. We'll cook our onions first before the mince. We'll chuck that in there. And as it heats up, the onion that's still together should separate. Let's start them on their way. I think we might just come back when those onions are ready, because they might take a few minutes to cook. So we'll be back shortly. Hey everybody, we're back and our onions are done. So they're ready to go. So what we're going to do, we're just going to, we've got a spoon with holes here. We're just going to sort of like let the oil go to the bottom of the pan, because we want that oil to cook the mince off. Now don't forget to keep a good eye on your spaghetti sticks as well. We had to actually add more water in because the water level is going to be low. So if you have to, don't be afraid to. We're rolling the sticks at all, so you just got to watch them. It's like rice. The water goes nowhere. It just disappears. So just nothing dropping out. So just put that in there. You can also add some garlic in if you want, your own fresh garlic. Although I don't think you'd need too much of that if you did do that, but you can add that, that's optional. The only reason we hadn't is because we had ran out. We don't have any at the moment, but you can do that. It's alright, if you want to do that, you can do that. And now, oh, there's a few hiding there. A few hiding. Don't want to leave these in while the mince is cooking because they'll definitely burn by then. So we're just going to get all these onions out. So that is ready for our mince now. So I don't know, we've probably got roughly about 1.5 kilos here, 1 to 1.5 kilos of mince here. So just going to chuck that in. Now remember to cut it up just a bit. Yeah, with a fork or something like that. It's hot. I'm just trying to turn it down a bit. Now this is something that's simple and easy to make. full of flavour. And I'm pretty sure 98% of kids like spaghetti. Who doesn't like spaghetti? And I can't name one person who I've met that doesn't like spaghetti, so it's a well-known dish that's liked by pretty much everyone. So it's a good, quick, easy meal to cook, but it doesn't take too long. So it's not stuck in. I had to put a bit extra mince in because that pan was getting a bit too hot. We need the mince to cool it down. So I'm just going to rinse this off in the sink. Just drain up now. But yeah, so we're just going to stir our onion and our tomato and our sauce in. That started to simmer again. Just going to sort of mix it around with a fork because you don't want to leave it there. If you let it sit, they're actually going to bind together. So you've got to stir it occasionally so it doesn't stick, so they don't stick together. Let me see if I can find an example. Well, there isn't any because I've been stirring them. But they'll gather in clumps and spit, like this one. See, this one I didn't see. Like they've gathered in clumps, which just makes it harder. So we just constantly try and stir that so it doesn't do that. See, we'll pull it apart a bit now. So they should not be too far away. And we'll just keep an eye on them. So I'm going to grab an extra fork. We're going to turn this up again now that it's not trying to kill us. So we're just going to start that cooking. See, there was barely any oil on that, but you can see how much oil has already been released from the mince itself, the fat that's coming out of that. Now this shouldn't take too long to gain heat again. We just don't want any accidents or anything like that, so that's why we turned it down. It was pretty hot after those onions. So we might come back to you when either the spaghetti sticks are done or the mince is done, so we'll see you again soon. Hi everybody, we're back now. I just turned these off literally 2 seconds ago because they're cooked now. Just by eating them, that works. This mince is nearly ready. It's not much longer to go. I've got a strainer ready here, small hole so it doesn't fall through. I'm just going to put them in there. Now it doesn't matter if everything doesn't come out. Watch the steam. See, there's still stuff in there, but I don't think we'll need all that. So we're just going to pop this to let it drain on top of there. We'll leave that off here for a minute, so I'll come back to our mince. So our mince is almost cooked. Look at the amount of oil that has come out of that mince. So we don't want to eat that, do we? No. That wasn't a rhetorical question. I was just answering my own question. So what we're going to do, I have a spoon in here, in this pot. Now I've got an empty sink here. I've got to put too much mince in there to do this. But we're just going to try and chuck some out down the drain because we don't want to eat all that oil, all that fat. It's not good for you. So I'm just going to take that out. But that's an unbelievable amount of oil to come out of that amount of mince. I mean, that's why we don't usually put much in when starting it off. We just need enough to start it to cook because it just, as you see, it releases its own oils. Now that should be enough. I actually think that mince is ready now. So what we're going to do is we're going to just quickly turn this down a bit, this flame here. We're going to put this onto the flame to start cooking the sauce up. So what we're going to do is we're just going to put that in like we did with the onions and get the oil to move down because there's still oil in there. I'm just going to let it drain. We're just going to put this all in here. Might take a while because there's a bit of oil in there. It's alright if you get a tiny bit of oil in there, but we don't want too much in there. So once this is heated, once this is heated up enough, excuse me, we can, I'm just choking on my saliva here. We can then add the OXO cube in. You can see, look at all that oil down the bottom there. That's still come out after we've took a few spoonfuls out. So just going to put that all in there. Now I don't think this actually costs too much to make. It depends on how much the ingredients cost where you get them though. If you shop around, I'm sure you can save a few dollars shopping around a bit rather than buying it all from your local supermarket or, you know, anything like that. So that's our mince done. We're not going to grab all those little fiddly bits out of there. So we're just going to stir this in now. Now everything else in here will heat up pretty fast. So not long after this we can add our OXO cube in. You can also, if you wanted to thicken it up a bit, you could also put a few tablespoons of corn flour and a little cup of, like, with water, about that much water in it, of cold water, and mix in corn flour and then pour it in once it's hot if you want to thicken a bit. It will also lighten the colour a bit, but that's only if you want to. I'm not going to do that because I don't feel like it needs to be thickened. It's thick enough. So we're just going to let that cook a little bit longer. Now we're going to add our OXO cube before we add in our spaghetti. So you see in the box, so it comes in a little packet like this. Be careful. You got to be careful when opening it. I'm going to be careful so I don't break the cube because it's like salty sort of thing, like a salt block. Oh, so I just broke a piece opening it. So that's started to boil now. So let's put a little bit in. Just stir that in. I'm going to use a whole lot, but I just want to show you what it looks like, so you know what it looks like. So it just looks like that. And what you do is you just crunch it up in your hand. I'm going to swatch hands because I'm right-handed. So just going to crunch it up and sort of sprinkle it over like you would sprinkle salt, and mix it in with the other spare hand with a spoon. That's hot enough. As you can see, it's like sort of simmering. If I stop stirring it, it will simmer. But I want to stir this OXO cube in, so that it actually is a flavour enhancer, and it works quite well with spaghetti. You could probably put it in beef stews and stocks and all that sort of stuff. Make your own stock out of it. I don't know, but it's just a beef flavour enhancer. Sort of tastes like the stuff they put in packet noodles. You know, beef noodles, sort of something like that. You see, it's going to get hot enough because it's going to simmer very shortly. And when I say that, it doesn't do it. I've seen it doing it before anyway. But it's, oh, there you go, bubbles. There you go, see, it's hot now. So that's probably hot enough to serve. So we're just going to turn that off now. And now we can add in our spaghetti sticks, which have now sit for a bit. Might grab some tongs to do that. Might be easier. So I'm going to grab some. I put mine in the boiler so it's mixed in like pretty evenly rather than putting it all on a plate. So I usually add the whole packet in too. It's going to drop. I think it's going to drop. No, my luck, it's going to drop. I'm just going to move this out of the way for a second. I'll just put this in quickly. I'll wash it in a second. It's easy to wash as you go. So I'm going to move this in its place now and add all this in without getting it all over the benches and stuff. So I'm going to just put that much in for now, and I'm going to stir it in. And try not to get it leave the stove, so it does get messy. It does get messy, so I'm just going to stir that in. It does take a while to stir, so I might just come back in a few minutes when I put all the rest of the spaghetti in and stirred it in properly. Hi everybody, we're back and we've mixed everything in. So this is what it looks like. So your kids were pretty satisfied with this, I reckon. My little brother loves spaghetti, so it works. It's roughly took an hour to cook and prepare. So we're just going to dish some up. Just going to show you dishing up one plate. You don't need to see me dish up every plate. You get the point. So that's probably it. Mum doesn't eat much. She'll growl at me if I put too much on the plate. She wants more. There's plenty there. So here we go. Now we'll cut open our cheese while we're waiting. So we opened it. Let's grab a few pieces of cheese and sprinkle it over. And then we have our spaghetti. I hope you enjoyed this. Like and subscribe if you want to see more.